Hey everyone, Chang here. This is the skill building video series. For today's topic, we're going to cover how to graph points on a coordinate plane. So there's several things we have to focus on. First and foremost, what is a coordinate plane? A coordinate plane is basically two number lines that stack right on top of each other. Here's an example. Here we have the normal number line from 0 in the middle. We have all the positive numbers on one side, all the negative numbers on the other. Now, we're going to call this x. That's the x coordinate, right? The x-axis. The other number line now, we're just going to sort of flip it over and make it vertical. The 0 is still here. All the top one is going to be our positive numbers. All the negative ones is going to be our negative number, or the bottom one is our negative numbers. That's going to be our y coordinates, or basically our y-axis. Each of and every one of these are basically called axis. So what we're going to do is, instead of just putting points on a number line, we're going to actually put points on a coordinate plane, which is basically separated into what is called the x coordinate and the y coordinate. So before we even begin, this is just 6 examples that we're going to go over in a bit. Now, the format of a point is you have a parentheses, and inside you have two numbers. You have your x coordinate. So basically this right here is going to tell you where on the x-axis is this point going to be, and then we have our y coordinate. So that's always going to be the format. X is going to be the first one, then the y. So whatever number here is always going to be x, whatever number here is always going to be y. So let's just look at this in terms of the first example. Here we have this point A. The first number is going to be 2, the second number is going to be 6. So from this format, this point format, we know that the first number is going to be on our x-axis. So we know this is 0, 1, 2. It's going to be somewhere here on this 2 coordinate, right? The y is going to be 6. So that means on the y-axis, we're going to go up to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't put a 6, so let's just put a 6 right here. So another one, that's 6 right here. Now, originally it's 2 and then 6, right? If we're looking at this, so go over here 2 on the x and then up 6 because we're going positive, right? Up 6. So this would be where our point A is. Let's just put A right here so we know that's our point A. So that's how we would graph a specific point. So let's look at this one. The second example is slightly different. We have 9 over 2, comma 2. Well, it's not that different. X again is 9 over 2. If we sort of simplify, or we try to figure out what it is in decimal form just to better understand, 9 over 2 is about 4.5. Well, on our X, 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 4. Here's 5. So 4.5 is halfway. So it's going to be like roughly right here. Let me just put a little, no, I wouldn't do that. No, about right here. Okay, so it's about right here is where the 4.5 is. And then you have your 2 on the y coordinate. So you go up 1 and 2. So from here and then go up 2, this would be where our B value or B point is. Here it is. And so from then on, we can sort of basically graph the rest of these. Now notice this again. Remember the format. Don't ever get this mixed up. Here we have 0 and 0. So even though they're interchangeable, 0 and 0. We have 0 on the x coordinate, 0 on the y coordinate, which is going to be right here in the center. This is what is also known as the origin, right? Where all the axes cross. So for point C, we have the origin point, which is right here. C. Hopefully you guys can see that. And then we can move on from D. Now, this is the first time we're going to be encountering negative number, but it's not that scary. It's not that bad. Origin, positive. This part is negative. That's for the X. Origin, positive, negative. That's for the Y. So in this case, we know that the X is negative 3 and the Y is 4. So starting from the origin, 1, 2, 3. That's negative 3. So we're right here at this point. Our Y, we want 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just going from right here to here. So hopefully you guys can sort of see, and it sort of makes sense from now on. So 4, wherever it goes, and then negative 3, wherever it goes. Where it crosses, that is our point, and that is where point D is in this case. E, same thing. We have 2 for our x coordinate, negative 1 from our y coordinate. So here's 2, 1, 2. And then it's going up and down. We're not sure, but then we know that's negative, so it's going down. So 2, go all the way down. Negative 1, right here. Where it crosses, that is where our point is. and that's going to be E. Now, the last one, once again, fraction, not that scary. As long as we change it to decimals so that we have a better grasp of where it is, we can still graph it. F is going to be at 6, 5 over 2. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is right here. And 5 over 2 is basically, when you simplify it to decimals, is 2 over 5. So that's 2 over 5, 1, 2. 3 is right here, so it's halfway. So we have 6 that goes up here, going up this way, and about here. I'm going to eyeball it. Sorry, I can't really dot straight lines, but here we go. Where they cross, that's going to be our F. So that's how you would graph points. Now, for the next one, I'm actually going to give you guys points, and let's see if you guys can figure out the coordinates of those points. All right, so for this one, once again, I've given you all the different points. We have A, B, C, D, E, and F. Now we're going to try to figure out the coordinates for each and every one of these points. Now remember, the format for points is X, Y. The first number must always be the X coordinate. The second number must always be the Y. I'm going to go over the first few, and the latter portion of it, the latter half, I guess you could say, what is that? A, B, C, I'm going to go over. E, D, F, I'm going to let you guys try to figure out with limited explanation. So let's begin. Now, the first one, we have A. Once again, we're looking for X, Y. So let's just look at the X. Well, if we're looking at X, just eyeballing it, because it might not be drawn really well, is it goes roughly right here, and the Y is right here. So if we look at it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, here's 1. So X is going to be 1 in this case. Let's just make sure A right here is going to be 1. And over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it's at 5 in the Y coordinate, so it's going to be 1, 5, right? Let's look at B, for example. B, 1, 2. So this is where it is. It's just from here going all the way up. And here is 1. So here, go all the way across. So we know that the coordinate for B is 2, because once again, X first. And then Y is going to be 1. Okay? C, same thing. Here's C. Our X is going to be, well, in this case, remember this is our origin, 0, 0. So here is going to be negative 1, going up from here all the way up. And it looks like about 3 right here for Y, right? So our X is going to be negative 1. And then our Y coordinate is just a positive 3. So don't get that mixed up. All right, let's move on to the other 3. And I think you guys got this, so I'm going to refrain from explanation. Here we go. Thank you again for watching this video. Hopefully this makes it a little more clear on how to figure out the coordinates if you're given the points, and the points when you're given the coordinates. See you in the next one.